Hey everyone, welcome back to Berlin XPedition. Today's video is a little different from what I usually do. And I want you to stick around to the very end because I have a giveaway coming up. And I will drop all the details at the end of this video. Now, today we are talking about one of the most debated topics in the Forza community. Automatic transmission versus manual transmission. Should you switch? How do you switch? And most importantly, is it actually worth it? I went through this myself. I documented everything, every lap time, every mistake, every moment of frustration, and I am going to share all of it with you today. So let us get into it. Before we get to the actual footage and lap times, let me quickly explain why manual transmission is faster. Because the answer is not as simple as people make it sound. Switching to manual does not give you a magical speed boost. It does not automatically make you a better driver. And it does not shave seconds off your lap time just by turning it on. In fact, doing it wrong can make you significantly slower. Much slower than you were on automatic. So what does manual actually give you? It gives you control. Here is the thing. Your engine does not produce the same power at all RPMs. Power builds up as your revs climb, and then near the top of the rev range, it starts to drop off. When you drive on automatic, the game shifts you up as soon as you hit that peak power point, sometimes even a little before you have zero say in it. But when you are on manual, you can hold that gear a little longer. You squeeze out more power from the current gear, and then when you shift up, you are already starting from higher revs in the next gear. So you are using more power there too. The same logic applies to downshifting. With automatic, the game takes its time deciding when to drop a gear for you. With manual, you decide. You can downshift exactly when you need to, drop into a lower gear, and use that extra power to pull out of a corner faster. And this is where engine braking comes in. This is one of the most important concepts in this whole video. Engine braking. When you downshift, the engine creates resistance that helps slow the car down. It is not the same as hitting the brakes, but it works alongside your brakes. And when you learn to use it correctly, you can brake a little later, carry more speed into a corner, and still make the turn. That is where the lap time comes from. Not from magic, from control. All right, so here's how I approached this experiment. I went to Chihuahua Circuit. It is a short circuit, not too complex, great for learning because the lap times are tight and every small improvement shows up clearly in the number. I picked a slow car. C or D class is ideal for this kind of practice. You do not want a fast car when you are learning. The speeds are lower, the reactions required are slower, and your brain has more time to process what is happening. One important thing I also did, I disabled all driving assists. Yes, all of them. No traction control, no stability control, nothing. This sounds scary, but here is why it matters. If you have assists on, you are not really learning to control the car. The game is doing it for you. And when you eventually turn those off, you will feel like you are starting from zero all over again. So disable them now. Take the pain early. It pays off. The goal of the first session was simple. 20 laps on automatic transmission. Figure out the track, learn the corners, find the braking points, and set a benchmark time. That is it. No pressure. Just laps. So I started lapping, and as expected, the first few laps were messy. I was still figuring out where to brake, which line to take through each corner. My first completely clean lap came on lap 3, and the time was 1 minute, 10.871 seconds. That was my starting point, my benchmark, and then something interesting happened immediately. The very next lap, lap 4, I already improved by almost half a second. 1 minute, 10.112. This is what the first few laps do for you. Every lap, you understand the track a little better. You try different lines, you experiment with braking points, and the time drops naturally. I kept pushing, trying new lines on every single corner, seeing what works and what does not. On lap 11, I got 1 minute 9.882, but there was a collision in that lap. Still, I was now almost a full second faster than when I started. And then lap 12, 1 minute 9.532. Clean, no collision, over a full third of a second better than the lap before. At this point, I honestly thought that was close to my limit. Maybe this is all I can do with this car on this track. And then lap 18 happened. 1 minute 9.240. And I remember thinking, wait, can I actually get into the 8-second range? That thought gave me a little extra motivation. And on lap 20, I crossed the line at 1 minute 8.703. 2 full seconds faster than where I started, just from learning the track, just from trying different lines. On automatic, now I want to be transparent here. I am not a professional driver. Forza's physics are very different from real-world physics. My lines are far from optimal, but this was a real improvement for me. And I think a lot of casual players, people who work, people who are in college or doing higher studies, people who play games to relax and unwind will relate to this completely. So that was my automatic benchmark, 1 minute 8.703. That is the number I need to beat with manual. All right, time to switch. Now here is a little bit of advice before you do this. Do not expect your first manual lap to be good. It will not be. That is completely normal. Accept it going in. I switched the transmission to manual and I got on track. My first lap, 1 minute 13.151. That is 2.5 seconds slower than my automatic baseline. 2.5 seconds. That is a massive step back. And if you experience something similar, do not panic. Do not quit. This is exactly what is supposed to happen. What was going wrong? Everything, honestly. Sometimes I was overestimating engine braking. I thought I could rely on downshifting to slow me down. And then I went flying straight past the corner. Crashed. It happens. Sometimes I was completely forgetting to shift down going into a slow corner. So I was crawling through it in a high gear with no power at all. And I should also mention, I play on keyboard, not a controller. So shifting gears is not even close to being a muscle memory for me yet. Everything was a conscious decision in real time. It is a lot to handle all at once. But I kept going. Lap 3, 1 minute 9.824. Yes, there was a collision. But look at that number. On my third manual lap, I was already back near my automatic pace. That got me excited. The problem now was consistency. I was nowhere near consistent. Some laps were fast, some were a mess. I kept overestimating engine braking. I kept missing downshifts at key corners. I was trying to figure out exactly where in each corner to start dropping gears. Lap 10 brought some improvement, 1 minute 9.565 with a collision. And then lap 11, 1 minute 9.397, also with a collision. I pushed for about 21 laps in this session. And then my hands started cramping up. Keyboard gaming is a real commitment, I tell you. So I decided to take a break, get a snack, watch some Forza videos to get back into the zone, and then I came back for another session. When I came back, my first lap was 1 minute 11.933. And my first reaction was, honestly, what the hell? I was basically starting over. The brake had reset my feel for the track. This is something that happens especially when you are still in the learning phase. Your muscle memory is not solid yet. Your brain needs a few laps to warm back up. I did not give up. By lap 9, I was back at 1 minute 9.766 with a collision getting there. And then lap 10, 1 minute, 8.660 with a collision, yes. But I had just beaten my automatic personal best with a dirty lap, but I was not going to stop there. I wanted a clean lap, faster than my automatic best. That was the new goal. I kept going. Lap 20 brought 1 minute, 8.392 with a collision, just a slight tap, so close. I stayed on track, a few more laps, pushing every corner, getting more comfortable with the gear shifts, and then lap 30, 1 minute, 8.646. Clean, no collision, faster than my automatic personal best. On day 1 of learning manual. Now, I want to be very clear about something. I am not saying the gap between automatic and manual is just a few hundredths of a second. That is not the point of this video. What I am saying is that on day 1 of learning manual, with cramped hands, on a keyboard, with inconsistent shifting, with crashes and missed gears and overestimated engine braking, I was already faster than my best automatic lap. That should tell you something. With practice, those collision laps become clean. That inconsistency becomes routine. And the gap between what you can do on automatic and what you can do on manual only grows from here. The reason is what we talked about earlier. Engine braking, holding a gear longer, dropping to the right gear at the right corner. These are tools that automatic transmission just does not give you. When you are on manual, you are not just driving the car. You are working with the engine. Okay, so let me give you a quick step-by-step on how to actually do this if you want to try it yourself. Step 1, pick a slow car, D-class or C-class. Do not start with something fast. The slower the car, the more time you have to react, and the more forgiving it is when you mess up. Step 2, pick a short, familiar track. Chihuahua circuit is a great choice. Something where you can put in a lot of laps quickly and really get to know every corner well. Step 3, disable all assists. Yes, all of them. I said it earlier, and I will say it again. You need to feel the car. Step 4, do 20 laps on automatic first. Learn the track. Find your braking points. Set your benchmark time. You need to know what you are trying to beat. Step 5, switch to manual. Expect to be slower. Do not panic. Focus on learning which gear works for each corner. Focus on where to start downshifting before a turn. Do not worry about lap times yet. Just learn the rhythm. Step 6, learn engine braking. When you approach a corner, start downshifting before you brake. You will feel the car slow down from the engine. Use that, but do not over-rely on it. Combine it with your brakes. You will crash a few times figuring this out. That is fine. That is how you learn. Step 7, once you are getting comfortable, go for clean laps, not just fast laps. Clean ones. Building clean habits is more important than raw speed in the beginning. And one bonus tip, try driving manual in free roam too. There is zero pressure in free roam. No one to race, no lap time on the line, just the car and the road. It is great low stress practice. One last thing I want to cover briefly. Should you go straight for manual with clutch? My take, start with manual without clutch. It is simpler. And once manual feels completely natural to you, switching to manual with clutch is honestly not that hard. You are just adding one extra input on top of a skill you already have. Some people will tell you to go straight to manual with clutch because it is the fastest option. And they are right that it is faster. But learning everything at once is overwhelming. Master the basics first, then level up. All right, that is everything for today's video. If you made it this far, thank you so much. It genuinely means a lot to me. Now, as promised, the giveaway. I am giving away a PC copy of Forza Horizon 6. Here is how to enter. Number 1, like this video. Number 2, subscribe to Berlin XPedition. Number 3, drop a comment below. And in that comment, tell me any video concept you want to see on this channel next, along with the cars you want me to try in future videos. That comment is your entry. Simple as that. The winner will be announced on May 1st, 2026. So make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss the announcement. Thank you again for watching. Like the video if it helped you. Subscribe to Berlin XPedition for more Forza content. And I will see you in the next one. Keep lapping.